Up, y'all, and welcome back to Shizzy Speaks. And today we talking about Chronicle and Andrew Detmer himself. Every crash out starts quiet, and nobody in this story becomes a real villain. But Andrew, it takes a bunch of small things to just send him over the top. Chronicle. This is a full story of how a kid with a camera became the most dangerous person in Seattle. The King Crash Out, Andrew Detmer. So before the powers and before the cave, you need to understand what Andrew's life really looked like, because the whole movie only works if you understand the severity of what was going on.
What the fuck is going on here?
Andrew films everything. That's not a quirk, that's like his shield, that's his armor. He's a kid, he constantly getting beat up by his dad, his classmates, everything around him. He's just existing in a house that's falling apart, and his mom is dying on top of that. So he puts the camera between himself and the world because the lens gives him a reason to not react the way that he wants to. He just records to survive. And his cousin Matt is the only person who checks in on him. And even that relationship is kind of lopsided because Matt's cooler than him, he's more popular, people talk to him, and people don't really talk to Andrew. They just see him as like a wimp, and it's kind of sad.
Yes, very sad. Anyway,
Andrew's stuck being the kid everyone decided to overlook, and that was his problem throughout the whole movie. So when it's the three of them, Andrew, Matt, and Steve, they find that hole in the ground and something down there, it changes them. You have to remember, two of these boys already had stable lives to return to. Andrew didn't. Andrew had nothing to lose. Whatever happened next landed them on a blank slate, and it was landing a kid already at his breaking point. It gave him powers.
I mean, it's alright, like...
So here's where things get a little more interesting, right? Because Chronicle it's not just a subtle pattern that happened. It trusts you to notice what's going on with Andrew and the other kids in the movie. Every ability Andrew gets, he uses defensively at first. Think about it. He stopped the car from hitting him. He stops a bully mid-shove early on. The powers he uses it for protection. This is a kid who's never had control over anything in his life, and he suddenly got some. But watch what happens the first time someone laughs at him, not hurts him, laughs at him. That's the moment the power stops being defensive and starts being a currency. Because now he knows he has power over other people. He can make people stop laughing at him now. He can make the world flinch instead of him. And that power dynamic, that switch, separates him from the rest of them. Matt tries to set rules on him, but it doesn't work. Like, they had a rule with each other where they said they're not going to use it on people and don't use it when you're angry. Andrew agreed to it every time, and he breaks it every time. Because the rules only work when someone who still believes in permission. You gotta believe in permission in order for somebody to set rules on you. And Andrew's entire arc is the slow realization that he doesn't need permission to do anything. The lightning scene is the turning point where everyone remembers, when he struck Michael B. Jordan out of the sky. But the real shift happens earlier and quieter, the talent show. He gets on stage to actually be seen for once. Something goes wrong, and instead of processing it like a normal person, something in him decides he'll never be humiliated again. No, I'll get better. No, I'll try again. Just never again by any means necessary. And that's the definition of a crash out. Not an explosion. It's just one decision, and he's about to go crazy.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
Poor Andrew. So once Andrew stops asking for permission from Matt, from his dad, from anyone, the movie stops being about kids with powers, and it becomes a countdown to crashing out. His dad hits him one more time. He threw him against the wall, and that was it. He almost killed his dad in one shot. This is a moment in the movie a lot of people watching, they sympathize with him because they felt like it was time for him to fight back, and it was an intentional part of the movie. Chronicle wants you to feel the justice in the moment right before showing you what a person becomes. When justice is put in their own hands, they become an animal. Almost like a vigilante. But Andrew wasn't really a vigilante. Andrew was putting belt to ass the whole movie. Matt tries to talk him down, like in the final scenes of the movie, and it just doesn't work. Because you can't talk to someone with their first powers, and you gotta look at the power scale of what they have. They're flying across the world, they're throwing buses at each other, and Andrew, he just wants to be the reason something happens instead of the person something is happening to. And I understand that he just wants the power aspect back, but the way he went about it is totally wrong. So from my perspective, here's the actual point of the story. It's the part people miss when they just call Andrew the villain. Andrew, he isn't just dangerous because he got powers. He's dangerous because he got powers with zero support system, zero intervention, and he didn't have any adults in his life who ever asked him if he was cool. His dad used to just beat him up every day. Every warning sign was there for months. Bruises, isolation, a kid recording his own abuse because no one else will witness it. The tragedy of Chronicle isn't the ending, it's that the ending was preventable. It was very preventable at basically any point before the powers even showed up. If literally one person stepped in and checked on Andrew, Matt didn't fail Andrew because he wasn't a good cousin. He failed Andrew because by the time he started paying attention, the damage was already done. That's the real horror of the movie, not the powers, the timeline. It shows you exactly how a person can quietly become a monster. Andrew Detmer didn't become King Crashout because of what he could do. He became him because of everything nobody did for years before that. If you think Matt could have stopped this earlier, tell me where. I want to know exactly the moment you think this story was fixable, because I don't think as early as many people assume it could have been fixed. So next up, I'm doing Brightburn, and if you thought this one was dark, wait till you see what happens when nobody ever tries to stop it.
Matt tries to pull a guy's gum out of his mouth mid-chew.
Talk movies, shows, and anime.